Good morning. You listen to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is Adam McCombs, the newly named CEO of Somerset. Adam, how you doing?
I'm doing well today. Yourself?
I'm good. I appreciate you giving us this time today. I want to introduce you to our listeners. I know you're in the middle of moving from Wilmington, North Carolina to Somerset, Kentucky. Let's get into some of that in just a minute. A little background, most people know that Bauwerk Group AG, a Swiss-based company that's focused all in the hardwood business worldwide, bought Somerset in May of last year. And for a while, Paul Stringer stayed on and was CEO. And then just recently, they named you, and you're new to the flooring business, right?
Yes, I am. Prior to this, I was in the aviation industry, and then after that, I was in the logistics side of the world, setting up facilities for Amazon and such.
Let's talk about that just a little bit. It looks like you were going to focus originally with your education and a degree in psychology from Michigan State. So it sounds like you're going to become an HR guy. And then you got your master's at Eastern Michigan University in organizational development, and then an MBA from Clemson University, right?
Yes, that's correct. Kind of dabbled in all areas of the business, but I'll tell you what, that foundation in human resources always been valuable to me in everything I've done, because at the end of the day, you realize that no matter what your role is, it's all about how you work and deal with people in the organization and finding the ways to get people to partner and work well together. That background has lent well to everything I've challenged with in my career.
So you are a operations guy with a focus on people skills, and you spent almost 10 years at Lockheed Martin, which, as you mentioned, is an aviation company. You know, most people know the F-16 is one of their products. All those roles were in operations analysts and continuous improvement, and you became a lean expert, right?
Yes, I did. With those large systems and the complications of work there, you have to have good process, good flow, and high degrees of efficiency to bring millions of parts together to produce those types of products. So it was a great opportunity to cut my teeth on that experience.
So your career had you in Greenville, South Carolina, and then you got a role with Interroll Group, did that for almost 5 years, and that's what brought you to Wilmington, and they're in the conveyor belts and rollers and material handling type systems, right?
Yeah, we are deeply into the interlogistics industry, creating conveyors, the components, the sortation equipment, basically all of that stuff that's used to power the large UPS, FedEx, Amazon facilities to get the packages and mail to people's houses.
All right, so now you're CEO here, new to the flooring business, new to the hardwood business, and have an operations background. How did this come about?
Had a recruiter reach out to me, asked me if I had an interest in interviewing for the role. In my previous role, even though I was responsible for operations, the managing director role was still deeply into the sales and customer side of it. So still balance the whole business requirements with the full P&L responsibility. So even though the industry is slightly different, of course, having the business management background is directly applicable to taking over this responsibility.
And also having a background in the Southeast, because as you know, worker base is very dependent on what part of the country it's in. All right, so now the way the structure is, you're CEO of Somerset. Most people know Dan Natkin, who came over from Mannington, is running sales and marketing for both the Somerset brand and the Bowen brand, and he'll continue to do that.
I have responsibility for the operational aspects as well as sales and developing the market and growth strategies for the organization. Dan and I are going to be partnering on the sales side while I'm working with the rest of the team here to make sure that we have the operational excellence to meet the market needs.
All right. And as I mentioned earlier, this company, Bauwerk, their focus is wood, which is interesting because a lot of flooring companies, when, LVT came around, they picked that up and diversified. And your company is focused all in wood products globally, right?
Yes, that's our sole focus of the organization, is to being the best in the industry for wood-based products.
Is Paul Stringer going to be with you for a little while?
Paul's going to stay on for another month or so at a full-time capacity, and then he's going to be a mentor available to me for several months afterwards. I plan to continue to work with that relationship and get as much knowledge as I can out of him over the time I have left with him.
That's good. He's a great guy. And have you met Steve Merrick yet?
Yes, I have. We had dinner a couple weeks ago, and it was a very nice conversation and really enjoyed having an opportunity to talk with him and at least for an hour get a tiny bit of knowledge out of him about exactly what's going on in this wood industry that he knows so well.
Because Steve is the guy who sold Somerset to Bauwerk, and so it's good that you still have those two guys because they could be your background and information teachers, I guess. Yeah, and I know you know the people side of it and the business side of it, but they'll be great for you on the hardwood side of it.
Yes, they've both been incredibly great to get to know already and very open and sharing. And again, I'm looking forward to continuing those relationships going forward because, there's a lot of relationships and a lot of idiosyncrasies to the industry that they are incredibly helpful in helping me be aware of.
I guess you realize that you're coming in kind of a soft time for demand right now, but that should turn around soon. And so that gives you a good time to get your feet wet before demand picks up. It's good timing.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of a breathing moment. And we kind of found the same in my last industry as well, that the entire world's trying to figure out what the path forward is. And all these sort of consumer-driven environments, people are taking a breath in some of their spending habits these days.
Well, I'll leave you with this one last thought. I know you've got a wife and family, and you're moving to an area that's got a beautiful Lake Cumberland there. So I hope you'll enjoy that over the weekend. I appreciate you giving me a chance to introduce you to the business. Again, I've been talking to Adam McCombs, the new CEO of Somerset, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.